Raducanu's epic Beijing debut, record-breaking stats and highlights you can't miss. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. The autumn skyline of Beijing glowed with gold and crimson as the city prepared for the spectacle that is the China Open. The National Tennis Center buzzed with anticipation. Among the players stepping onto these courts was a name that carried both legend and lore, Emma Raducanu. For Raducanu, this debut wasn't just another tournament. It was a statement. After a turbulent period marked by injury, self-discovery, and silence from the media spotlight, Emma stepped onto Beijing's hard courts to announce to the tennis world, she is back. The stakes were high. The eyes of fans, pundits, and critics converged on her. Would her comeback be a quiet restart or a thunderous return? The answer would come in style. The journey to Beijing. Emma Raducanu's road to this moment had been far from linear. Her meteoric rise in 2021, culminating in her stunning U.S. Open victory, had rewritten tennis history. Yet that meteoric ascent was followed by a season of injuries, withdrawals, and soul-searching. Wrist surgery, ankle rehab, and the weight of expectation had kept her off the center stage for months. But quietly, Raducanu had been working, training in London, with a focus on strengthening, rebalancing her game, and regaining her confidence. Beijing would be her first real test after a long layoff. This debut was not just about winning matches. It was about proving something deeper, that she could still be the force the tennis world fell in love with. The stats that stunned. Raducanu's debut was not just memorable, it was historic. From the first serve to the final point, she recorded numbers that were both impressive and telling. First serve accuracy, 72%, the highest of her career. Aces, 9 in the match, her personal record at a major event debut. Winners to unforced errors ratio, 2.3 to 1, showing her balance of power and precision. Break points saved, 85%, demonstrating her resilience under pressure. But numbers alone cannot capture the spectacle. This debut was about moments, each point a declaration. Match highlights you can't miss. First set, the shock of power. The match opened with Buxa serving aggressively, but Raducanu's return game was razor-sharp. A sequence of deep backhand returns pushed Buxa into defensive positions. The crowd erupted as Emma unleashed a forehand down the line winner that ricocheted with thunder. Raducanu broke twice in the first set and closed at 6-2. She was not just winning points. She was controlling the court. Second set, the art of dominance. Buxa fought back, holding serve early in the set. But Raducanu's composure was breathtaking. Her footwork, speed, and anticipation transformed rallies into art. A defining moment came at 4-2, with Emma hitting a stunning cross-court forehand winner while running at full sprint, an ace of movement that brought fans to their feet. She closed the second set 6-3. In just over an hour, her Beijing debut was complete, a straight sets masterpiece. Beyond the scoreboard, why this debut matters. It's easy to see this as just another match in a tournament. But Raducanu's debut in Beijing was symbolic. It marked a rebirth of sorts, a moment where talent met determination and statistics met heart. This match was her loudest answer yet to the questions that have followed her since her injuries. Can she come back? Is this the same Emma Raducanu? Has the magic faded? With her debut stats, she said it all without speaking. No, the crowd's roar, a Beijing love story. Raducanu has always had a special relationship with fans. In Beijing, that bond was palpable. Signs waved in the crowd. Go Emma! Queen Raducanu! Her name echoed through the stands in Mandarin, English, and other languages. The crowd became part of her debut story. Their energy fed her, and her brilliance electrified them. Social media lit up with clips of her rallies, and hashtags like hashtag Raducanu returns and hashtag Beijing debut trended worldwide. The buzz was no accident. Raducanu had just announced her arrival again in the loudest way possible. A cinematic debut, the story behind a match movie camera. Imagine this debut as a cinematic sequence. The opening scene shows Emma walking onto the court, her expression serene but focused. Close-ups show her breath, her grip on the racket, the sneakers squeaking on the hard court. The camera shifts between her rallies, slow motion capturing the whip of her forehand, the tension in her serve, the explosive energy of a cross-court winner. The crowd roars like a soundtrack, rising with every point. The match closes with her fist pumped, the scoreboard lighting her victory. A narrator's voice says, "In Beijing, Emma Raducanu began her second act, and the world was watching." Fade to black, rewriting the narrative. Raducanu's debut stats weren't just impressive. They were narrative-changing. She had transformed from the girl who shocked the world to the player who proved she could come back stronger. For sports journalists, this was a headline: Raducanu's epic Beijing debut. For tennis fans, it was inspiration. For Emma, it was proof that she had rewritten her own story. Her post-match interview was candid. "It's been a long road. Tonight wasn't just a match. It was a statement. I'm back and I'm ready." Social media storm and fan reactions. The internet erupted after the debut. Fans posted highlight reels, commentators dissected her stats, and analysts debated whether she could now re-enter the elite. A TikTok clip of her sprint forehand hit 2 million views overnight. Twitter trended hashtag Emma Raducanu, with posts calling her the comeback queen. Even sports brands noted her renewed aura, with conversations about sponsorships and campaigns already sparking. Her debut was more than a tennis match. It was a cultural moment. The bigger picture, what this means for tennis. Raducanu's return is part of a larger narrative in women's tennis, a sport in constant evolution, where stars rise, fall, and return stronger. Her Beijing debut reminds us of sport's beauty, its unpredictability, its drama, and its power to inspire. For young players worldwide, Emma became an example that setbacks are not the end. For tennis fans, she rekindled the magic that first made her a global sensation. Looking ahead, the road after Beijing. Beijing was the beginning, not the peak. Ahead lie tougher opponents, grueling tournaments, and the pressure of living up to a comeback. But Raducanu's debut showed she is ready. The world will be watching her next matches, her next stats, her next highlights. Every tournament will now carry the question, can Emma Raducanu sustain this level? And every time she steps on court, she will answer that question in her own way. A match that transcends tennis. Emma Raducanu's debut in Beijing was more than statistics and highlights. It was a declaration, a moment that blended athleticism, resilience, and artistry. The scoreboard read in her favor, but the true victory was intangible, a statement that Emma Raducanu's story is far from over. Beijing was not just her debut. It was the prologue to her comeback saga. For tennis, for fans, for Emma herself, it was historic. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.